Well, hello everybody. We are now on episode 30, uh, which is exactly how many views we've been getting this month total. We are still sponsored, despite our views. I hope you're checking out Martin Mancini.
Yeah, you should be. If you're not, shame on you.
Uh, I'm actually not certain why our views fell off so hard. Been trying to figure that one out.
YouTube did change its algorithm a couple of weeks ago
Well, I mean,
for reasons.
we're still following the rules. I don't know.
So far, we've been very good boys.
I think part of the problem too is we're in a absolute we're at one of the many times where tabletops just aren't as popular, and that's like 90% of what we do. So nobody's come up with a controversy and or product yet to get people back on the bandwagon. So it's just kind of doing whatever.
But hey, we're mostly in it for the fun, right?
Oh yeah, it'd just be nice to see see it go a little bit further. Not a whole lot's
I
been going
committed,
on.
I committed cooking sin number one, stand over the pot while adding pepper.
Yeah, that's idiotic.
Trucker made an oopsie.
A big oopsie.
Make sure not to do that again. As everybody.
Good enough, I guess.
As
It's
has your neck of the woods recovered from the draft, Mayor?
Oh man, boy, it took ages, but it took all of
Shut the
half
state down.
half of a second. There are businesses right now that are trying to panic sell food because they didn't sell enough and they don't know what to do with it, don't know where to go with it, refuse to lose the profit, so of course they're not going to donate it to homeless shelters. So thankfully a lot of good people are out there buying this heavily discounted food and donating it. And besides that, uh, the only traffic I've noticed is standard idiocy that came up. I was driving to work on Thursday. It's pouring rain so bad that you can't see hardly 20 feet in front of you, and people are either going 110 miles an hour or 60. So no matter where I was trapped, and that made me very angry. And then on my way home on Friday, it was the same thing, but no rain.
Damn.
But that was just genuine general stupidity.
People being dumb.
My anxiety's peaking. I don't know what's going on with that.
I don't know, man. Everything okay?
Everything's fine. I'm gonna be very busy on Tuesday. That might be most of it because I gotta go. I took the day off of work. I have to go and
What?
get my eye exam. Trying to get 2 pairs of glasses out of it, which is going to be kind of expensive, and I'm not looking forward to it. And then I need to go back home. Hopefully, the DMV will still be open because I want to try to get ahead of. I want to try to get ahead of something, the next year before my license expires and get that taken care of. And then I have to drive to the next town over as quickly as I can, depending on the time, so that I can go get the entirety of my well, not the entirety, but a good portion of the back end of my car redone because I found out the sway bar in the back is not doing good at all, and the rear ball bearings need to be, or the wheel bearings need to be replaced. But
Oof.
it's all cheap stuff though. Like it's $30 for each part, and the labor is not going to be that much. I'm going through a friend, so shouldn't be more than $250. But when you're already spending, I don't know how much insurance is going to take up of my exam, but it's annoying.
It's never enough.
It'll be fine. I just got paid, but still annoying.
I understand that.
To be perfectly honest, I don't even think it's actually anxiety. I'm pretty sure I just don't feel very well.
Just a general bleh.
Yeah, well, I mean, I haven't been eating the best of things, so I got to turn that ship around before it goes to hell.
You want to turn it around before you get where I'm at.
Well, I'm not quite that in danger. I just been eating stupid things that have not made me feel very good.
See, like I'm currently in the process of making an abomination that I have to make. Instead of using, ground beef, I'm using ground turkey.
Foul.
But then, got to do what I got to do, right?
I guess.
What makes it an abomination is the dish that I'm actually making, and I'm actually a little embarrassed to admit that I'm using turkey to make it.
What are you making?
Chili.
Oh, jeez. Are you sure you?
Dietitian,
Oh,
dietitian said I need to take it easy on the red meat.
yeah.
And I'm like, look, I wanted to say, Doc, we evolved on that, but that argument don't fly in the modern era.
Well, you got to do what you have to do.
Yep, got to do what I got to do.
It's just gonna be me, Trucker, and Chaos today. Flames probably mentioned that 30 times in every one of his recordings.
Yeah, he's got business to attend to, which is fair. We don't hold it against him much.
I gotta be perfectly honest, I think that also might be where some of the ill feelings are coming from between uh fighting to stay alive and it was a busy week at work, so I was fighting to stay alive there. And then after that, I wanted to try to enjoy whatever little time I had to play the Oblivion remaster. I forgot to prepare for this week, so you guys will be just as surprised as I am.
That reminds me, your playthrough on the channel, are you going pure, no glitches?
No, absolutely not.
Well, there are 3 glitches that I can confirm work. And
I
it's the barrel
Item dupe.
duplication.
The item
Sorry,
dupe
what's
one
that?
too, right?
So what?
The item dupe one too, right?
Yeah, that's what
That
he's
is
talking
the
about.
item, dude.
You got to use barrels now.
It says any kind of container, but I've only ever seen people using barrels.
I used a
My
chest
brother
the other day.
is able to make it work with just the menu, so
The barrel item duplication glitch works. The pickpocket spam works, where you get into the Imperial jail, tell the guy to go away like halfway down the stairs before that door shuts. And then he'll go back up the stairs and shut the door, and then you can just crouch in front of any occupied cell and spam pickpocket on the guy that's in it. You'll level up your pickpocket skill very, very, very quickly.
same goes for upping your sneak in the tutorial area.
I didn't do that one.
Oh yeah, it's like the first goblin that's standing near the fire. You just gotta walk up to him, wait till he walks up to the fire, crouch against the wall, and slowly walk into the wall.
Anytime I have to follow an NPC, I just sneak at this point, and that's been taking care of it.
You do what you gotta do.
I've been pretty much strictly just using the duplication glitch on the repair hammers. That system annoys me so much.
Yeah, I have to. I have to get a stack of a big enough stack in order to do it.
You only need 3.
Yeah, I know, but I've only got like one right now.
Just keep looking through containers, you'll find it.
I only have the one right now, and it's like, game. I know my luck isn't that high right now, but come on, shit.
We've been talking for a little too long here. Let's we should probably get into it. Pull up the old scene, get the map on there, get the music playing. All right. So,
That timing was almost perfect.
with the last time you guys were the last thing that we did with you all, we were at Elijah's wedding. Things were going as normal as they could until a strange man wearing ancient Raven Guard armor from Vuldar had dug his way up through Celine's floor. And the only thing you have heard him say so far is, "Where the hell am I?" As you're in the middle of jazz music stops meme, What are you up to?
Record scratch.
Omen just was about to take a sip of his drink when he saw that happen, so it's just comically drizzling down before it stops reaching a point where it can drizzle out.
Yeah, to describe this man, he is standing at about 6'9". He is wearing what looks to be a strange combination of heavy and light armor. Like, there are patches of heavy armor put on top of what's basically leather armor. You're seeing on his right shoulder is one of those, like, shoulder capes that depicts the symbol of the Raven Guard, which is just a raven holding an arrow that has an apple skewered through it.
You guys keep following me everywhere.
What?
Friend, you're in the wrong side of the world, to be honest.
You can't really see him. The thing that I forgot to mention is he's got this long, one of those big black hoods over his head, and every time he turns his head, you do hear what kind of sounds like what must be a chainmail lining.
A chain coif.
Yeah, essentially. And he just goes, "Where the hell am I? Seriously."
You're in the middle of my wedding.
Draconia, to be specific, right?
The hell is Draconia?
My friend, Woldar is more than just that. You're a long way from Woldar. We're deep southeast, I think, compared to where we were. Right, Elijah?
Yes.
I have to roll something for him see if Chaos referencing the complete wrong game is going to screw him up.
We're in Worm.
Worm, sorry.
Dragonov?
More accurately, the city of Worm.
Yeah, I'm in the country of Dragonov.
Indeed.
Yes.
It's been quite some time then.
So, how exactly did you find yourself buried beneath our associate's floor?
Oh, this must be a business. You just watch him reach into a bag, and he looks at George. Sorry for the floor, and he just throws a gold bar at him.
Omen, who was mid-sip, just chokes seeing that. Can I do a quick roll to see how much Omen would guess that a gold bar would be worth?
That'd have to be like an intelligence.
17?
That's gotta be at least 500 gold that he just tossed at him.
Is that more than enough to fix the floor?
In this country, yeah. Wood is very cheap because there's several giant forests.
Omen, after thumping his chest a couple of times to clear the airway, and with a quick application of key to clean said pipes, Well, that was interesting.
That's one
Do you,
word for it.
if you don't mind me asking, sir, what was your rank amongst the Raven Guard?
Captain,
I think the more important question is, why are you here?
is King Winter still in charge?
Intelligence or history?
I don't think either one of us would actually know.
You actually do, so yeah, it would be a history for both of you.
Oh, that one's good. I
Well,
have proficiency with it. 22.
even with the war?
Yeah, somebody told you what happened. Or what they
Oh, yeah,
remember
that's.
happening.
Hang on, what were we rolling?
History.
History. I got a 22.
15.
Yeah, you both remember Creepy Johnny telling you that Horace Coldiron had basically snuck in. There was reports of him sneaking into the palace
Oh, that's
during a
right.
particularly rough battle between the many sides that were in that war, and there was a very loud explosion and nobody saw either of them again. And Ophelia,
That's,
the Death Angel, has assumed control.
that's right.
There are still parts of
Uh,
that you never asked Creepy Johnny about.
we're not entirely sure.
We do know Ophelia the Death Angel has essentially assumed control for the time being.
That explains what I've seen, then. King Winter, in his infinite wisdom, had heard reports about 100 years ago that a fissure had opened up in the city and sent all of us in. Told us to make it quick, find out what had caused it. Apparently, by quick, he meant an hour and a half, because that's when the hole was sealed. If he could have just done that himself the whole time, I don't know why he needed us to go down there. We were all trapped. Thankfully, there were tunnels. We fell a great deal of distance and found out that there's an entire world underneath us. And that's where I've been for about 100 years, trying to dig my way back to the surface.
And how are
If
you
you
not dead?
if you don't mind me asking, sir, are you a different race other than human?
I'm definitely far from human.
Elven, perhaps?
Perhaps.
You're not gonna give me a straight answer, are you?
I don't even know you.
Fair. That said, serving 100 years does certainly narrow down possibilities of what you are. That doesn't explain where the rest of your men are if you're just here on your own.
Oh, creatures, red caps, giant holes, lava pits, the Colosseum, the chapel, or rather the cathedral, the Eternal City. Oh, some of them could have wandered into the wastes. Some of them could have run back into who I now presume to be King Winter, who's now down there and is causing havoc.
That explains that then.
You learn things from other people that happen to be using tunnels, trying to find their own escape. Surviving off of dog mole meat, Every once in a while, I'd have to make the long trek out of the tunnel to try to find other things. You hear stuff. It doesn't go well.
Okay, so now that you're here, what do you plan on doing?
Well, hell, we could probably use somebody to help down there. Probably ought to kill King Winter before he comes back. Some man in a suit of armor. He seems to have become a man in a suit of armor. I've heard reports that he has an arm of ice. Not sure how or why.
If the that is certainly interesting development. Omen will just look at Elijah. If anything, if King Winter is anything like potentially, you know who is, only different, it'd be smart if we go down there and try to get rid of him.
I've seen. Of course, I'm able to see a lot with my Raven, so I can verify this is all true. And before you ask, no, my Raven is not alive. And I don't mean like not physically with us, I mean it is an undead entity.
We kind of figured.
I figured it was like a bound spirit.
After you got that description of King Winter, you can roll an intelligence check if you would like.
Sure, why not?
Alright, better. 19.
9.
It sounds like he's describing Horus, not the king.
Is Creepy Johnny in the vicinity of this wedding? Wasn't he invited?
Yeah, he was cooking. He was cooking with Richie and Vicky, but they're all sitting. They're sitting rather close. They're listening. But Creepy
I'm
Johnny
just gonna
doesn't.
look over my shoulder at Creepy Johnny.
He's just staring at you. You know he does. I mean, he has left out details all of the time anytime you guys ask him anything because nobody bothers to ask him for more, or sometimes he just doesn't feel like sharing and you don't know until you ask him, but he's just sitting there idly listening.
Creepy Johnny, do you know anything in particular about why Horus is supposedly the way he is at this point? Or is this just something new that happened before or after you left, rather?
Let's see what he can discern from all of this. That's the wrong guy. There he is, Mr. Jonathan.
Oh, so he's upgraded himself. He's now Creepy
No,
Jonathan.
no, I'm making fun of my own character that I
Or
created.
can we call him Unsettling Jonathan?
He doesn't seem to have any insight on that either.
Oh.
He's just kind of staring blankly.
Of course.
So, in essence, we're being asked to go on yet another quest where we may or may not kill another king.
What, you guys are practiced?
How familiar are you with the Kingdom of Sadar?
We trade with them. Rarely.
Well, my friend, Sadar is now the Empire of Brimstone, under the command of the Ancient Red.
Wasn't okay. None of this
we
means
may or
anything to
may
me.
we may or may not have been the ones to take care of the former king at the request of the prince, essentially.
Exiled Prince.
Still a prince. Ain't you, Jezza?
Yeah, I exiled myself too. Twice.
Well, this sounds like a problem that will get significantly worse unless people, actually go into this and help. You could have at least given us like a month.
Would you like me to go back down there and start digging another tunnel and come back? Or
No, I'm just being facetious.
You did interrupt a wedding, after all.
I didn't put this building here. Hell, I wasn't even aiming for here.
Where were you aiming for exactly?
Out.
Out to where?
Anywhere but where I was?
Okay. Did you not like pick a direction before digging?
Well, I figured I probably shouldn't go straight up. And probably shouldn't
Yeah.
return back to Vuldar.
Oh, I could tell you don't want to do that. There's kind of another war going on there too.
No, I'm pretty sure that's over, says Creepy Johnny finally.
Oh, sure, now you
Oh.
speak up.
Well, what did you want from me?
We thought, well, considering Horus, we might have another Arizona issue with Horus.
As far as I knew, Horus was dead.
Well, he either isn't
He,
or somebody is very good at pretending to be.
he, yeah, he either A, survived it, or B, pulled some crazy stunt with King Winter. And now we're potentially dealing with something even worse as a result.
Much worse.
How the hell is... How are they even linked? Doesn't make sense. He went to go kill the king.
If Horus supposedly has an arm of ice. That says to me crystallization of power. And wasn't Horus in some kind of gigantic explosion with King Winter as well?
Yeah.
The idea may be different considering its different energies, but the possibility of... It's gonna sound crazy, but flash fusion through immense eruption of power is possible. It's just a matter of a proper catalyst as well as a will strong enough to withstand the strain. Considering how bound and determined Horus probably was to get rid of King Winter and how stubborn to die King Winter was, catalyst, will, catalyst. He'll make a motion of just clapping his hands together. Whatever came out of that is either more of one and less of another, or vice versa.
Stop talking.
And then he'll just
Wait.
make a
I figured it out. Oh shit. This isn't good.
Please do enlighten the rest of us.
Well, if Horus is displaying the properties of King Winter, and Horus went to kill him, a powerful entity, the Fey King of Winter, perhaps he became him.
Oh, that's just great.
Potentially King Winter might have hijacked Horus's body, you mean?
No. They're the same person now.
While still holding his hands in that clap position, he'll just twist his hands to make them be being in opposite directions. Like I said, more of one, less than the other.
That means if you were to kill something of that powerful nature, if I'm right, then you become them.
I really don't want to do that. I only just started being happy.
Well, then don't kill him.
Yeah, but you're here specifically asking us to do something like that.
No, I'm not. He is. And he points over at the Raven card.
Raven, you're going to need a different plan.
There are other options. We could trap him, cause him to fall, cause him to die under his own circumstances.
A chaotic fusion like that should be relatively difficult, but not impossible to disrupt to a point that it causes a chain split.
If the words destructive and packed come out of your mouth next, we're going to have a problem.
I was going to say push his body, cause the body and the spirit to become desynced.
That sounds fatal.
Think of it this way: forcing the spirit to attack the body and destroy its own host in the process. Cause the spirit to become too erratic for the body to contain. My idea: we break that arm of ice. That might be an anchor point for him to be connected to his body. That breaks. There'll be no feasible way for his soul to be properly anchored. But
Leaving us with who?
a chaotic mash of memories and madness. Because at that point, once the spirit starts attacking the body, both memories start overlapping. And eventually, both egos will try and fight for control to see who is the real personality between them.
Not if it's a perfect
So,
fusion.
yeah. If your plan works, it would ultimately end up with the thing eradicating itself. But if it's a perfect fusion, we can't do that. It's beginning to sound like we're going to need somebody to stick the knife in that isn't me or you. Anybody else of an evil disposition.
I'll do it, Creepy Johnny says, standing up.
And why do you want to do that?
Because I was born to kill Horus. Right, Dad?
Well, I mean, I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news there, Creepy Johnny, but it's not exactly Horus anymore.
Could be. I'd have to see it for myself.
Did you also miss the part where if you kill this thing, you become the new thing?
So what? It's just my theory.
Yeah, but that means you go away.
Not necessarily.
Or you become some small part in a bigger jigsaw.
And what if I just become them, simply? What if I am still me?
You'd be you with
A lot more power.
a royal fey amount of power.
That's not exactly something you can just tuck away and pretend like, oh, I'm not gonna use it. Power like that, it'll find a way to be used, even if you don't want it to.
Who said I wouldn't use it? Who said I wouldn't do my very best to use it to keep my drinks cold and my food stored properly? Who says I wouldn't want to use it?
It's the matter of it being the power of a Fey king, not exactly something that can just be used for for just basic. Uh, There's still the matter to consider that even if we do encounter this thing, there's no way to guarantee it won't just be liable to have access to all the power that the King of Winter had. It could just be muted versions of what it held. Or it could just have all the full power, have access to its full strength, and we don't know. There's a lot of things to consider in this situation.
None of these sound like problems to me. We'll figure it out.
Oh boy.
Omen will just scratch the back of his head and in just confusion. This whole situation doesn't feel right. But at the same vein, I don't exactly feel comfortable knowing that something like Horus or whatever that thing is running around, even in a place that is as disconnected as apparently this underground realm that our Raven Guard friend found.
Oh, it's not a nice place. So many relics of the past, long since forgotten. all has to go somewhere.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Something tells me that even if we do agree to go on this mission, we're probably going to need more than what we have. If this underground area is as dangerous as you say, then we're going to need more than just a handful of us, a handful of adventurers.
Sounds like you need an army.
Or at the very least, a force big enough that a trip underground won't be that hard. Omen will just take a second to just shoot a look at Elijah. What about those villagers that seem awfully fond of you?
You're
You
wanting
know the
me
ones.
to you're wanting me to press into some kind of military service. A group of people I just outfitted not maybe a
All
few
right,
months ago
all right, all right.
into a war. I mean, I'm sure they would do it if I asked them, but I don't want to ask them.
It was more or less as a joke anyway.
I don't think we have time to gather an army.
Well, I mean, I hate to be the one to ruin your day, but we're just a couple of people that managed to not, shuffle off several times through sheer luck. And what you're describing sounds like something that would need significantly more than luck to survive.
Who says there aren't people down there that we can't meet?
Do you know some such people?
Well, we're gonna have to go look, aren't we? I didn't exactly mingle.
Well, secondarily, if those people down there existed, then he would have found them down there instead of coming up here.
I was more focused on getting out, not going further in.
I thought the Raven Guard's duty was to, go further in.
Sure, when there's a lot of us in a city that we know and aren't immediately getting killed by cultists and every other awful thing. You know, there are two ancient dragons down there. One of the wasteland and something they call the void. That's just two cults that exist down there. There's mushroom people, there are red caps, there are creatures beyond comprehension. Hell, the Eternal City is run by a lich.
You're making going with you and going back down there less and less appealing.
I'm just telling you, there are things that I've discovered while down there that lead me to believe that there still has to be some sort of good that we can find. Not everybody can be awful all of the time. But if you do not wish to go, I will not force you. I'll be on my way.
No, if people are dying, then we have to go.
If it means preventing more innocent lives from being lost, even if we've never seen or met them before, the least I can do is try and lend my strength to help.
The good news is there's a couple of people we can take with us that we won't have to recruit down there. That is, if they want to go.
We already know Creepy Johnny's going.
Well, my personal guard are going to want to attend because if the king consort is going, then I guess they're going to want to go too.
When you do mention that, Lillian kind of looks at you. Shouldn't they be guarding me?
They should, but for some reason, ever since we got back from Brimstone, they've been hanging around me more. You can order them to stay with you.
Well, I can't
If you don't,
necessarily.
I will.
I can't necessarily order Vessa to do that, so I'm gonna have to. You just see the three of them like, nah.
I imagine they're here, so it's like,
Yeah, they're nearby and they kind of overhear it and they're like, oh.
sorry guys, you don't get to go to the weird world within a world, apparently.
We'd just slow you down.
I wouldn't say that, but you're going to have an equally important job of protecting the queen.
Yeah. Elijah says, complaining.
The
Hey.
real question is, though, is our new captain of the guard going to come along, or is he going to stay up here?
I'm gonna have to stay, guys. I have to keep a watch over the city. Julian steps forward. Hey, maybe you could get Captain Corporal Jail to help you. That'd be pretty funny.
The exile?
Yeah, the one that we don't know where he is. That guy.
The one that plotted to assassinate several royals?
You
That,
just
that's
he just
that's a great
shrugs.
idea.
Well, I mean, he's got, plotted to assassinate royals. You're plotting to assassinate a royal. Who better to do it? But we don't know where he is.
Well,
You could
we might
man.
have to go. We might have to go find him.
You can man up Ricky. Ricky looks a little like, whoa.
Well, you don't want to come with?
He kind of looks at Vicky, who just kind of shrugs at him like, I can't help you in this scenario. I don't know what I'm good at. I can cook, yeah, I could figure something out. Become a man, go to war, come back and have a bunch of kids and stuff.
Go on a quote unquote grand adventure.
The grandest.
Well, I guess we have to do this thing then. So we need to figure out who's coming and who ain't. Get together an official roster and figure out what to do.
As
From
well as a list of all the supplies we need to go down.
from his wheelbarrow, Clarence just goes, "Yeah, too bad Mr. Granite's not around. I don't know whatever happened to him." Then Creepy Johnny goes, "Oh, yeah. Mr. Granite. He's dead. He's in
Uh-oh.
a lot of pieces.
That's
Lots
not good.
of pieces."
What happened to make him that way?
Went one-on-one with Stellaris, the Giant King, strapped a bunch of bombs to his chest, fought him till he couldn't, almost got thrown down his throat, blew himself up, messed him up really bad, and then the Ancient White killed him. And then I don't really know what else happened. Guessing Ophelia killed the Ancient White. Wonder if she's part Ancient White Dragon now. Guess we'll never know.
No, we just have to ask.
You want to go back and ask her?
Nope.
No.
Not one damn bit. Too bad we don't know anybody that could, contact, her or jail so we can figure out where these people are. Nothing like a good old forced conscription.
Feels like it did back in Voldar.
No, feels like it did when we first got here to Worm.
Right, back when we were voluntold to go do a task when we just walked in.
Hey, I voluntold you for all of those, says Jezza.
Turns to give him that anime deadpan flat look. Anyway. Still. Going down there will be an interesting exercise in developing my earth element. I've been able to handle most of the other elements, but earth has been sketchy as of late. So going down into this underground area will certainly be a learning experience, if nothing else. What? You don't think to get inspiration from where you go for training, Elijah?
I haven't really thought about it as in depth as you have, apparently.
That's part
Most
of
of,
being trained in the way of the elements.
most of my training was, hey, don't die. Oh, look, I didn't die.
Makes sense.
If I'm actually going, I kind of need to have a sword or something. I don't know what I'm good at.
Right, we need to figure out if you're capable of any kind of combat as well, just to make sure you don't wind up being a sitting duck for anyone who thinks they're they can get an easy win. Or an easy kill, rather.
I think I need alchemist supplies or something, maybe. I don't know. What if I'm good at mixing stuff? I am cooking. Isn't that not the same thing?
It's different type of complexity, but the idea in its bare bones form is the same, even if you're not. As long as you're not actively trying to poison people with what you're trying to cook, then it could be similar, but.
I mean, I guess you could count cooking as a form of alchemy. I know nothing about alchemy, so I don't know. Maybe?
Hmm.
I'll go get some pots and pans.
Okay, well, here, and I'll I'll dig in and I'll give him like 2 platinum pieces to try to get everything he thinks he'll need.
Okay, cool. I think I can do this.
You might want to get, I don't know, do they have those here? I know there was that one guy, and I guess Brimstone now, but Lillian, do you know if anybody in your town or in the city is capable of making a bag of holding?
Well, all of you roll me a history check.
It's been busy. I don't remember.
21.
16.
In everybody's bout of infinite wisdom, you all distinctly remember that Omen has had one on his waist the entire time.
And of course, there's also one that was in Elijah's possession, the duffel bag of holding.
Yeah.
I actually forgot I had that.
Brother. No, I'm not gonna get that on you because I forgot shit too.
Like, I thought we gave it back once we got all the little robot dudes.
Nah, we kept them.
Yeah, that was part of your reward.
Oh. Oops.
The genie.
Did you delete it without thinking?
Yeah, the genie just decided that basically just forgot that he gave it to you. He never asked for it back.
Okay.
I mean, the man did get his head popped.
Well, yeah, after a while.
So it's kind of easy to be absent-minded when your minds are absent from your head, and your head is absent from your shoulders.
Well, I think here is a good place to take a brief break because you guys need to get that list together of things that you're going to want.
Oh boy.
I have to go put my clothes in the dryer real quick.
Squeak,
I
squeak,
didn't,
squeak.
I didn't even know that toy had a squeaker in it. What the hell?
Squeak a leak.
Let me go put my stuff in the dryer and I'll be right back.
Oops.
This is interesting. This whole scenario.
Well, I'm glad.
I'm just sort of low key glad that Flame wasn't here, so we wouldn't have to deal with Hurricane Celine, ready to blast a fool. Because, no offense to you, Flame, but the last thing we needed was for him to blast the Raven Guard dude with Witch Bolt. Funny? It would have been. But also, the last thing we would have needed.
Let's see. But yeah, I'm gonna do this in the most bizarre way possible. Oh, that's not gonna work. I need it here.
Was that you speaking from some level of experience, Chaos?
What do you mean?
Making a joke about Flame killing a quest giver.
No. I was just worried. I was just saying that I was glad that we didn't have him here because if he had actually was here and he followed through on firing off Witch Bolt, a lightning spell at a dude covered in pure metal armor, yeah, let's just turn a guy into a lightning rod real quick.
You seem to forget that Flame couldn't hit something with a -1 AC with that spell if I told him he just auto hit.
Oh,
Ooh.
burn.
I'm sorry, we're gonna need some aloe for that burn,
I mean,
because god damn!
we watched that happen.
You're not wrong. Oh, shit.
What was that? 3 nat ones?
And a bunch of 5s.
He needs to throw those dice in the jail and leave them there, never to return.
Permanent dice prison. uh,
Consign those dice to their fate. Because, damn. If it had been me, those dice would have been out the window while I'm going down the road the next day.
yeet!
It was a spectacular lack of success.
Very.
If it was, if he wound up doing something, if he wound up working in a different way, I would have said, "Congrats on failing upward."
Yeah. Poor old Flame was just not having a good night.
The man was furious.
We've all been there. Except for you, Chaos. Your dice love you.
Yeah, Crown Royal was the crazy stalker for me. Obsidian, he gives and he takes away.
They're called green slate, but they're black dice with green numbers. That's what I'm playing with right now. They are fairly middle of the road.
Sorry, you guys have done some unexpected things, so I have to quickly try to prepare them.
What, drag other people kicking and screaming to their doom with us?
I
I don't wanna. You're going.
don't wanna. You're going anyway. It's like that one clip of when an extrovert drags their introvert friend to a party. Just no, no, no.
I don't wanna. I don't wanna. And then they just sit awkwardly in the corner for the entire party.
Until the extrovert literally grabs him by the hood and throws him into a friend's circle.
All right, let's get this back up and running. I will just say, for the sake of what needs to be done to move this along, you guys go and rest. Some of you may or may not be consummating a marriage, not up to me.
I'll leave it a fade to black.
Some of you returning as single as ever. Actually, I mean, I'll leave this up to you, Chaos, but technically your new friend doesn't have a place to stay. And you know very well that
Why do I have to?
Celine's not going to let him stay there. I'm comfortable speaking for Flame on that one.
Why do I have to host a Raven Guard?
Because you're not the one getting married, and you're not the one that has anybody living with you.
Hashtag single life.
Yeah, you get to take all the couch surfers because you didn't get a girlfriend.
The plan still holds.
This guy, to make matters worse, he He doesn't talk to you much, and he just awkwardly follows behind you the entire way home.
That awkward silence of crap. What do I say?
Yeah, well, it's even more off-putting because none of you have ever seen the face of any member of the Raven Guard except for their what they called heralds, the ones that would wear the robes and basically function as more of a magic user. Like, you've seen their faces, but you've never seen any of their soldiers. And there's rumors that they're not even real people, that they are just suits of armor. And you've also noticed that this guy is so uncomfortable that he is just following uncomfortably far behind to the point that you feel like you have to stop, but if you stop, he stops. So it's a very annoying walk home.
One of those.
Yes, he's kind of like that. He's kind of like a 6-year-old in that
He's
regard.
the exact opposite of the fast sidewalk walker.
Yeah, no, this guy, he walks with no purpose and is not in a hurry.
As the walk reaches about the halfway point, Omen's got like got that anime tick mark on his head, just popping a vein, just a vein popping, as he's trying his best to keep at least be somewhat hostable to the guy, and at least be understanding in his position. But eventually, it gets to a point where they're almost there, and he just turns to look at the guy. Okay, I have to ask. And this has been bugging me. Is it true? There's been a rumor, there was a rumor in Voldar that a lot of the Raven Guard are just suits of armor. I know that's not true, but I just have to ask for sake of my own personal curiosity.
No, I'm a person. I live.
How?
Oh, I think
You didn't answer my question, though.
Yeah, you cut out.
Oh, for fuck. Where did I cut out?
I just have to ask, and then that was pretty much it.
Oh, for fuck. I am going to kill Xfinity. I am going to murder them all. Ahem. To rehash, I said, to make the stupid, cutting out the rumor bit, how many races are in the Raven Guard? Or is it just uniracial?
I wouldn't begin to presume.
You mean to say you don't know?
No clue.
Even amongst your time as captain while serving under King Winter, you never knew the races of your own subordinates?
Wasn't my business.
Clap. There's of Omen's hand cracking across his forehead at that. It's pointy. As he just mutters an infernal.
I haven't any idea why it would be a concern.
Well, considering when I was in Voldar, there was a rumor going around that aside from the heralds, you were all of you were just walking suits of armor to a lot of us.
Some of them probably
Your faces
are.
are. Oh, that's just wonderful. That's just peachy. As if not knowing which ones are which. We would have wound up actually talking to literal walking suits of armor. As if Arizona wasn't bad enough, we wound up experiencing them beforehand. He just winds up continuing to have that tangent infernal as he's just mumbling to himself, making the rest of the way to his apartment.
Have you ever been to the Undead Ward? Is it-
game once, right?
No, you lived there.
I okay. Back in game. I lived there.
Oh, so you're aware that there are ghosts and creatures.
Stella's had a ghost waitress for the longest time.
Well, then what's the problem? So what? Some of them are suits of armor. Some of them are spirits trapped in a machine. Things happen.
I only say this because we had bad experience with one such living armor individual recently. And even though now we're apparently on good terms with them, the short time they were around causing harm was very profound.
So what? You have one bad experience with one thing and it's damned a lot of them? That seems counterproductive.
No, I'm just reminding myself at this point to keep myself tense in case anything unfortunate were to transpire. I'm not damning the entirety. I'm just going to stay cautious from now on.
Well, you're not there now, are you?
No.
Oh, well then what the hell does it matter? A rock could fall from your head out from the heavens, and yet I don't hear you complaining about that possibility. Yet you complain about this one. What's the point of all the worry? If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Sorry about that. There was some outside noise getting too loud.
Yeah, so you just got Bobby
Anyway,
McFerrin.
back in game. Best of all, I didn't hear half of it because I had to go out and tell my parents to turn down their fucking TV because it was at like fucking 50.
Man literally just said, "Don't worry, be happy."
Oh, he just looks at you when you say that and goes, well, if you're not there, then why are you worried about it? A rock could fall from the heavens and hit you in the head, yet I don't hear you complaining about that. If there's nothing to worry about, then why worry about it at all? Seems like a non-issue.
You make a point about that, at least. Anyway, we should be. My house is just around this corner. Where I live is right around here, so.
Well,
Thankfully, I'm one of the few members of our group that isn't with somebody, so. You get to stay with me for the time being.
ah, yes, lucky you, in fact. A member of the Raven Guard staying in your house. It is quite nice. You are protected. Too bad they never let us nap on people's couches. That was not allowed in Vuldar. Now I am my own man. I, a soldier, can nap on your couch freely. What a great world.
Yeah, ain't that wonderful?
It must
The
be
only
nice.
guy in a group that doesn't have.
It must be nice to be living in such a free city where soldiers can come in your home at any time to take a nice nap on your sofa.
Boy, isn't that lovely?
It's awfully
He said with a tone so dry he could peel paint.
Must be nice to be in such a place that takes such good care of their soldiers.
It wasn't all that good to begin with. There was one incident when I wound up having to deal with, where we wound up having to deal with some unfortunate business during a party. And boy, was that fun.
Eh,
Oh, I'm
you
sorry.
Anyway,
You-
anyway,
Oh.
bathrooms. If you need to use the restroom, it's down the hall on the third door on the right. My door is over there. If please don't need any assistance. I should hope that a soldier of your caliber is at least capable of taking care of themselves.
I got this far, didn't I? Though I
Indeed.
don't imagine you'll be getting much rest, considering you're always so tense.
Have a good night, soldier.
Yeah. He just
You're gonna wake up and he's gonna be laying next to you.
Oh hell no!
You got Bobby McFerrin and Amendment Ford in the same conversation. That's great.
3, I believe. The Third Amendment is about sleep.
Is it 3?
Yeah,
No quarter?
yeah.
My bad. Amendment 3.
Woman's just gonna go to bed.
Yep. The Third Amendment to the U.S. Constitution protects citizens from having to quarter soldiers in their homes, especially during peacetime.
And what's worse, Chaos, he thinks you should feel honored.
I know. You can practically hear Omen's blood pressure rising as this guy kept talking.
Look,
You should be grateful that a Raven Guard is deeming your pitiful hovel enough to sleep in.
to take this quickly above game before we get back in, it is the only amendment that you can, and non-political or quote-unquote political issue that you can meme into the ground, because there's no controversy surrounding it, and it's funny.
Because literally no one wants strangers sleeping in their house unless they're invited.
So pretending to be pro-Third Amendment or anti-Third Amendment is endlessly amusing for me. Create a whole world where all the soldiers feel like they're being kind of put out by not being allowed to sleep where they want to. All right, you guys go to sleep in whatever state you go to sleep in. We'll go back to Omen. Omen, you wake up at the normal time, and you go to the couch expecting to see your friend sleeping there, but he's not. He's washing dishes currently.
Huh. That's surprising. He'll just go over to where he usually gets his morning tea set up. Good morning.
Ah, yes, good morning.
Still in his armor.
Only in a kiss the cook apron.
Oh no, he's still in armor. Did you get your usual 4 hours of sleep? It's good to get all 4.
Just as he's about to sip, he sets the cup down and turns to look at him. That settles it. I knew you're some kind of elf.
What? Not
4
everybody-
hours is a. We tieflings need 8 hours.
Such a shame.
In fact, most races that aren't elves need regular 8 hours.
Unproductive.
He'll just roll his eyes at that and go back and just sip his tea.
As you're trying to enjoy your first sip of the tea, something flies straight past your head and onto his shoulder.
With Well, very slow and deliberate movements. He sets the cup back down and just looks to where that movement went.
You do see a raven sitting on his shoulder.
You mind having your little friend there not swoop so close to my head?
Who am I to control his actions? Do you feel you have dominion over all forms of life?
No, but I would at least preferred my head not get struck by a flying raven and by a flying bird. Especially when I'm trying to drink my tea. I'm not saying I don't want him. I don't claim rulership. I'm just saying either the little guy makes a warning before as he gets close to my head, so I know to duck, or he tries to make it so he goes around my head, so he doesn't try and use my horns as a target to swoop through.
It keeps him sharp. He cannot make a sound. You have a lot of rules. You seem to be very strict. Very tight.
Twitch. I take it you've already eaten and are more than willing to get ready to get going.
Yes, I suppose it is time to go.
Right. He'll just knock back the rest of his tea, having gotten about halfway through. All right, let's get moving.
Okay. This time, when you think you've had him figured out, he is following directly right next to you the entire time. I assume you guys would have agreed to meet at Stella's, just because it's a good centralized meeting place at this point.
Yep.
Yep.
Alright, good.
Sorry.
I'll just say for the sake of ease, the three of you make it there. Richie's already there. Creepy Johnny's ready to go. Richie looks like he's gone to get some early morning shopping done because he's got nice studded leather armor and some very intricate looking cooking supplies.
Good job, Rich.
Thanks. It did not cost nearly as much as you've given me, so here is a platinum and like 700 gold back.
Nonsense. Take that as hazard pay.
Well, we're going to need a lot of hazard pay, I'm sure.
That's what worries me.
I've been studying all night. I think I can do some basic things. I've got the ingredients. I've got my supplies. I don't know how I got roped into this, but here we go.
I think that was your erstwhile employer that did that to you.
Done what to me?
Signed you up for this.
No, I didn't. He said he'd go. It says Creepy Johnny.
Well, that settles that. You signed yourself up with no external influence at all.
You guys kept asking for volunteers. I panicked.
Well, think of it like this. You might get a few scars. And you know what they say.
You mean like these? And he just rolls up his arm sleeves. And you see a bunch of burn marks.
Kinda?
I think he means more like this, as Omen sort of parts his tunic a little to reveal one of the large gash-like scars that cover his chest.
Oh no.
Yeah, see this? Yeah, this one, that was from my old man. Thank God he's dead now, so I don't have to deal with him hunting me anymore.
Reggie, you're not thinking about this the right way.
Who the hell is Reggie?
I'm sorry, I was having a conversation in my head. You're not
Tough
thinking
game.
about this the right way.
Yeah, bro.
Alright, go ahead.
What was his name again, just to clarify? Because I am like drawing a blank right now.
I'm making jokes.
Ah. You see? You're a hard
I
man
think
to figure out if you're joking or not, Trucker. You got a very flat tone of voice.
you're thinking about this the wrong way. I've heard it said that the ladies like a guy with scars like that.
My lady likes me just fine.
Well, think of how much more she'll like you when you come back with like legitimate battle wounds.
Okay, whatever, Your Highness.
Oh no, no, none of that.
Oh, now I'm striking a nerve, am I?
He got you that one, Elijah.
I wouldn't say it strikes a nerve. I just don't like it. Besides, it's not even like correct. I guess.
You're the
I don't
king
know.
now.
King consort. I have no power.
Oh, if that's what you believe. Sure, you have no power.
Hmm.
Whatever.
You don't actually. Nobody explained this to you?
Apparently, he never asked.
Yeah, no, you're the king. There's no consort. You married in. You're locked in. That's it. You're the king of the city. This is you now. You have power, whether you want it or not.
I think you'll find that the person I married is the one with the actual power.
It's equal now, man.
No, no, it's not.
Oh, no, no, no.
Oh my.
I'm telling
Oh my
you, it is
God.
equal now. Right now, it's equal. Whether you believe it or not. This is the reality you live in.
Omen's just gonna walk up to Elijah and just start knocking on his head. I think his skull is too thick to get the point, my friend. Like playfully knocking on your head, just knock, 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 knock.
I'm gonna thwack you between your horns if you don't stop.
Hey, I don't go aiming for your soft spots. Don't go aiming for mine.
Oh, that reminds me. Didn't your teacher used to do that? Says Creepy Johnny.
Is he just handling? Is he holding a pan with murderous intent right now?
Oh no, he's got a gun, he's got a crossbow, and he's got daggers that look very nice.
She'll just slowly side eye. Please don't get any ideas, Creepy Johnny.
Oh no, I forgot to mention, you're the master now. He's dead.
And here I was getting ready to ask if we could rope him into fighting this war with us.
What, you wanted to go back to Voldar?
No. But there's gotta be some way we can magically fucking ask.
Well, I don't know if he's actually dead. He's presumed dead. He went missing. He was working with us for a while. I don't know what happened to him. He's just a little guy.
A little guy who can move like the wind and make you feel his presence like an earthquake. I firmly believe that he's still alive. If he wasn't directly in the blast when it happened, and he's only presumed it, he's probably thrown off their trail to come back somewhere else.
But he's gonna have a bad time when he realizes that there's not a war anymore if he's still alive.
Alman, was
That
your
is also
master
true.
something of a battle freak?
No, he was level-headed.
Sounds an awful lot like he was a battle freak by what he just said.
Yes, do you guys have things to get, or can we go now?
Do we have enough supplies to last the whole trip?
Probably not.
Alright, we're gonna have to stock up on supplies, healing potions, light, and fuel to make sure, because the deeper we go, the more we're gonna need natural light for those who don't have dark vision.
Oh, no, don't worry about light. I mean,
What are you trying to tell us? There's a sun down there too?
basically, yeah.
What, out of crystals or something?
No, there's just this big hovering mass of fire on the ceiling. And all the plants glow. Hell,
Arcana?
some of the bugs glow.
Is that an arcana?
There would... For the plants and stuff, it would be nature. For the big mass of fire, that would actually be history.
Good thing I'm more proficient in history than arcana. That's, not good though. 19. The modifier really helped make up for it.
Arcana, you said?
History.
Or
History.
history? 12.
Yeah, you both remember how the waste was destroyed in Voldar was the elemental plane of fire had an opening there. This must be part of that opening.
Oh. I finally understand why those guys are so upset.
What guys?
All them people down there that are fighting, you said.
Well, hell, there's clouds. It goes away. It's almost always misting down there.
I'm not entirely sure that mist is mist. But hey, I guess we'll find out.
You guys pull back a rug that was placed over the giant hole after you had left. And you start going.
Climbing down the hole.
For the sake of everything, you guys spend a whole month traveling.
of.
It's not easy. It is a very long tunnel. It's certainly easier than digging the hole yourself, but thankfully somebody's already done the hard work for you. And eventually you come to a weird spot in the tunnel that kind of opens up like a window. And let me show you what you see as we get our new title card. Introducing the 5th and final chapter here. You overlook to see this.
Oh no.
Come on, render. Ooh! Hello, Golgoroth. Sorry, I'm getting Lord of the Rings flashbacks looking at this. It looks like Golgoroth.
I mean,
For
granted,
those
you
of you who
can't.
don't,
Granted, you
sorry.
can't see literally all of this. But you see a good portion of it. You're not seeing the finer details, but you are seeing giant mushrooms covering most of the place, and lots of dead trees, all of which are indeed glowing. You're seeing lots of bright patches where you assume there's some sort of fire. You do see lights off in the distance over in this direction, and more this way to the north. But you're starting to realize that this is more daunting than you thought. This is huge. Yep.
I'm now incredibly curious as to why, how, and when all this stuff got down here.
Maybe it's been longer. It's been here longer than us.
Where do you think Duragar and Drow have originally come from? Deep gnomes, things of that nature.
Well, see, here's the thing. I never thought of it until now.
Well, it'll be all you can think about for a while.
That's what I'm worried about.
None of us are coming back the same.
I need you to not say shit like that.
Oh, I apologize. Everything is going to be grand. This will be a quick and easy walk, 2 minutes max. You're going to find lots of helpful people. The wildlife will dance for you and even engage in song with you while you walk your easy 2.5 minute walk, and then we will be in and out, 20-minute adventure total.
I guess I see your point.
Well, let's keep going. Should be at the
Yeah,
bottom by the end of the day.
Let's try not to drag this out any longer than we're gonna have to. I just feel like something's gonna happen. Something always happens.
Of course something's going to happen. When was it not going to happen is more of an appropriate question.
Well, there's an acquaintance I used to know back in the day. He always had this saying, and that saying was, nothing ever happens.
What does that mean specifically, nothing ever happens?
I don't know. He never explained it.
Like in the grand scheme of things, nothing ever happens, or just in general?
I don't know. He never explained it.
Hmm. Nothing ever happens. Strange philosophy indeed.
I'm personally of the opinion that stuff always happens. I just hope that it doesn't.
Who's to say?
So what exactly are we walking into down here? Can you give us like a better, better view of the field?
Well, I mostly stuck to the shadows. I mean, there are some people who are good places to stay. I don't know necessarily that you'd want to trust them, but sometimes there isn't a choice. Hard to really say. Look, I was fighting for my life 90% of the time.
So essentially, we're almost going in blind.
Yay.
If any of the mushroom people sneeze at you, they're not trying to attack you. But they are going to try to be putting harmless spores on your head so that they can communicate with you. Just so that you're aware.
I'm entirely sure I'm okay with that.
As long as it doesn't actively hurt when they're... As long as the act of getting these spores attached isn't painful,
Should it be?
I'm willing to...
What do you mean shouldn't be? They didn't do it to you?
If you have, I'm fine.
Okay, so did you have this urge to come up to the surface after that, or
No.
before that?
The entire time. Why?
I don't want to seem like I'm being, I don't know, a bit of a reservationist, I guess. Or I guess it would be speciesist, but I don't know.
Loading.
That's just not really normal.
Suppose I don't know what you mean.
Let's just say I'm a little leery about my head getting messed with.
Should be fine.
Oh, and I'm surprised you're not talking about this too. The whole head getting messed with aspect.
Just a nice change of scenery as you guys are coming out to the road here.
I guess it's a good thing I'm not allergic to mushroom.
As you guys start walking, you get about, oh, an hour down the road, and all of a sudden you do see one of those mushroom people that was being described. This thing is big and thick, kind of like one of those really nice mushrooms that you'll find growing on the ground. He's got the cap of the mushroom is very, very, it's almost like a sun hat with how big and floppy it looks. You do see that it has eyes, but you don't see any discernible mouth, and it does start slowly walking towards you.
So wait, is he tall and thick, or is he a thumb with thumb that's walking on thumbs with thumbs for hands?
He's basically a tall-ish, like, he's not as tall as you. He'd probably come to about, he's taller than he should be. He's about like 5'8", which seems tall for something like this, at least to your perception.
So he's a 5'8" torso with thumbs for hands.
Yeah, essentially. As he,
he a thick boy indeed. He must be waddling his ass over to us.
He's not moving very quickly, but when he does get 30 feet, he does put his outstretch his arms, and then you hear a weird, like, squelching noise as he claps his arms together, and the spores do kind of fly up in the air. And you just hear in your head, okay, let's make it quick. All of your items, please and thank you.
No.
Really?
Do you say no?
Yeah.
Oh, all right then. Fair enough then, I suppose. And he just starts walking back into the trees.
We're down here barely a day, and we've already almost been robbed.
Great.
He didn't put much effort into it, but that doesn't change the fact.
He probably accounted for his size to be in it. He probably accounted for his size and sudden way of speaking to us to be the deciding factor in us handing over our items to him.
You just hear back in your heads, no, not really. It would just be rude to keep persisting. You already told me no. No means no.
Blink, blink. Oh, right, we still have these on us. Owen will just quickly clean off the spores so we don't... Like, is he like... Like, before he does it, is he just looking at us from the tree line, or is he just... What is he doing?
Yeah, he seems to have gone like 2 rows deep and is just kind of like watching you now. Because you guys started talking about it, and now he's like, oh, they're talking about me.
Before he actually cleans the mushrooms off his head, he'll look at everyone else. Do we feel it? Someone feel like asking the fellow if there's any places where we can bunker up, or should I just be the one to speak for him?
You could.
Alright. Excuse me.
Oh,
I have a couple of questions.
May I come back out onto the road, or are you going to accost me?
You're free to come. You can come back out.
Oh, Okay. And you see him shuffling back out onto the road.
Do you know of any settlements that will be friendly enough for us to rest for the night, or are there few and far between?
There's a rather nice village up the road.
Would you be willing to show us the way?
Yes. And he just points north. Just follow the road. Can't miss it.
Appreciate your time.
Yeah. My time.
He'll offer him a respectful nod.
He just is not moving and staring at you. He doesn't get it. Perhaps all of your items, then? He just kind of tilts his head a little bit, like, huh?
No.
No.
Still.
Fine. You just see him start slowly walking back into the trees.
I'll tell you, what he lacks in violence, he makes up for in determination.
No need to be violent.
You say so.
Right then, we have a direction, and we have a potentially friendly settlement to work with. So, let's get to it then.
You guys start traveling again. For your eternal clocks, it's starting to feel kind of late. Like getting to the point where you should start thinking about going to sleep, and you're starting to think that this guy has no idea what the hell he's talking about because you've seen zero indications of civilization whatsoever. Then you start to see the faint glow of fire, which you haven't seen in quite some time since you've been down here, because now that you're at the ground level, you're starting to kind of understand what this Raven Guard member was saying. That things kind of just have a way of balancing themselves out. You start walking a little bit more, it's not very far, another 10 minutes, and you're starting to see the outlines of buildings, and that's when you start hearing screaming.
And there it is.
Of course. Can't have anything, can we?
Well, considering we came down here to stop a war, no.
Ain't no rest for the wicked, eh, Elijah?
Nope.
What do you guys do?
For
Let's
my
get
part, get in there and stop the dying as quick as possible.
in. Mm-hmm.
Alright. Let's see, there's you, Celine, yeah, the 5 of you, because there are now, oh no, the 6 of you, go running towards this village as the screams are getting louder, and you're starting to hear them now. You're hearing wicked laughter followed by lots of screams for help. It seems to be feminine in nature as you come across this. You see 3 individuals in what look to be red hats with what appear to be pitchforks poking and prodding a woman who is wearing a dress and is hanging upside down from a tree over the fire.
Immediately, Omen will reach out with his key and just snuff the flames out by clapping his hands together.
Okay. There goes your source of seeing.
Great.
Okay, can I actually?
No,
We're blind.
you spoke
Well,
first.
We're blind now.
and fun times and fun times over for the Red Caps. I'm going to. Can I use my movement to get up to one of them?
Oh no, we're rolling initiative. This is a fight. I don't remember what I named this guy. Oh, it's an R. Okay, I have to. Since I don't have tokens made for these guys, your Raven Guard friend is red and Ricky's gonna be blue. Alright, let's get some initiative for you.
And some combat music.
Yeah, I gotta go and find it here. It's probably going to be the same old that we've been using. It's just gonna take me a second to find it. Well, that would have been more appropriate if I had found that sooner, but... Here we go, that's a good one. It's a great one for this. Here you guys go.
What, Fear of the Dark?
Duel with the champion.
Oh no.
You know, this would have been fun to have playing against my father.
Yeah, well, I didn't find it then.
Damn! This would have been such a good boss theme!
Don't worry, it'll make it your turn.
It will.
I have a lot of initiative to roll on my end too, so...
Good Lord, there's stuff we can't see.
Oh great, I ruined the party for other guys too.
Yep.
Great. So there's not just the three that are just poking and prodding the lady. Guys, I think we might be dealing with a small red cap colony. I'm wagering at least a dozen.
Omen, we've talked about this.
They were hurting her.
Yeah, now you guys can't see. Alright. I need initiatives from you both.
I got an 18.
19.
This will be kind of unfortunate for you guys.
I have a narrative question.
Okay.
When he fluffed that fire, could like the embers still be kind of throwing some light?
A little, but not enough to see.
You know, a
At
little bit,
least enough for like
a little bit of
a
dim
5
light.
foot.
No, embers don't produce that much light.
Fair. Fantastic. Well, the good news is they're embers, so we could probably light that back up. Hopefully.
This may be a quick fight, depending on how you guys all do.
Knowing my luck, it probably won't be that good for me.
All right. Omen, it's up to you.
Alright, with my dark vision, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. $35, $40, $45, $50. And I got some reach with this bad boy spade, so I'm gonna take a long sweep at green. Two-handed for... How's a dirty 20 beat do?
Oh, that'll hit him.
For 11 slashing. Second swing. Ooh, that one's better. 23. For max 12 slashing.
All right.
And for flavor,
Yes. I think you may have cut out.
Uh-oh.
hear me, Mayor? Oh,
Now
shit.
I can.
Here we go.
Okay. But yeah, he's gonna, for flavor, he's gonna snarl at the red caps, saying one more jab at her, and he'll take their hands.
You just keep hearing. Elijah.
Even the guy I just slashed up.
Oh, he doesn't seem to care.
Oh, great, he's a masochist.
They're red caps.
Well, in my
Kinda
experience, I've only ever encountered a few of them, and the most I encountered were from Baldur's Gate, so...
Kind of comes with the territory.
Elijah, you can't see. Go.
I guess I shall stumble around in the dark.
Use your bear sniffer.
5, 10, 15, 20. Bounce up.
Yeah, you can see about
30.
5 feet ahead of you.
You're used to
35.
I mean, you're used to hunting in the winter, so you're used to low light conditions.
This is a whole
I
different
kinda-
animal.
I kind of imagine the winters in Voldar are more like that 6 months of sunshine, 6 months of semi-dark.
Well, there's also stars, the moon.
Yeah. So, I am not confident enough in taking a shot from here. So,
Don't you have a torch? You can take a sec to get a torch lit and get it propped up so you can get some light.
you make a valid point. I'm going to light a torch.
That would be your object action, just so that you're aware.
That's fine. Next turn, I'm going to cook it.
The bonfire to get it lit again.
I'm going to try.
Alright.
5,
It's my turn.
15, Red's gonna come up to you because you're there. That's... I'm not even gonna read that number out loud. I just know that ain't gonna go anywhere. Ooh, that might, though. That is 24 for the first one.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
That'll be 14 damage for the first hit as he takes that pitchfork and jams it in you.
Like, it gets about, like, half an inch in, and he just looms over to glare at Red.
You see him kind of, like, yank it up and, like, wipe it across his hat, and then he's gonna go for another. That's even more. That's 28, which I know hits.
Yeah, that'll hit.
That'll be 13 damage as he does it again. And then as you're, like, reaching to kind of, like, cover yourself instinctively, he's going to open his mouth where you see, like, he doesn't have teeth. He basically just has, like, shards of metal and nails jammed through his gums as he's going to go for a bite.
I would have thought he had a bear trap for a mouth, with how you just were about to describe it.
Does a 23 hit you?
Yeah, that'll hit. Honestly, that's not the worst I've heard a red cap's mouth described. One DM was particularly sadistic by saying a bastard found a bear trap and used them as dentures.
That'll be 15 damage, and I do need a Constitution saving throw.
Alright. And that... Con is... Alright, not bad. 18.
That'll stave off the nasty effect that could have happened.
Yeah.
Because
tetanus.
Yeah, these guys could have been real nasty. None of you see this as you're too busy. But, depending on what happens here... Actually, he's gonna take a step back because he's got the range. Alright, let's see what you can do. Oh, I already know that that's enough. And that is plus... Oh boy, that's gonna be fun damage. I need extra dice for that one.
That's the last thing I want to hear your DM say. I need extra dice.
Especially for a damage roll.
Mm-hmm. Owie, incoming.
You hear a loud bang erupt from somewhere behind you as you see Red kind of get a brand new hole in him.
Omen's just gonna whip his head around to where he heard the bang.
You don't really...
Can his dark... My dark vision will let me see in, like, dog tone, so...
Right, but at how far?
60 feet. It's not superior.
Yeah, you can...
It's basic.
I mean, you can... It's almost at the limit of your range, so you can kind of see it. But
I see blurs moving.
yeah, you're not really seeing a whole lot, but you hear another shot ring out and another hole open up in red.
Who's shooting?
You don't get a response.
In this dark, I can barely see someone move. I can barely see movement. Also, it's probably even worse since I'm looking looking through the fading embers of a bonfire with that sort of light distortion.
You do see the Raven Guard member run up, but he's unable to do any more. As it is now the person who you've been tormenting, Chaos, it is now Green's turn, who does not bother to get closer to you, because they appear to have reach of their own. Does a soft 20 hit you?
Meets and beats.
Let me make sure I got that right. Yes, okay.
Actually,
minimum damage.
Never mind.
That's 7 damage.
Owie.
Yeah, not anything to write home about. That'll be 24 to hit that time.
Yeah, that'll hit.
That'll be 12 damage, and then he's going to step forward. And let's see. Let's see this time. Nope, I can't imagine. The 13's not going to do it that time.
Nope.
Alright, we have... That's the unfortunate placement. We have Blue, who's going to attack the Raven Guard member here. Let's see what he can do. Nope, that sure as hell won't hit him. That's not going to hit him. He's going to go for that bite. Ooh, okay, that's not great. That's really not great. Okay, well, let's see what this guy can do. Oh, good. I forgot I built him like that. Let's see what we can get out of this. As you see, it's easy for you to see because these guys are so short, Omen. But you watch this guy, Blue, violently start attacking the Raven Guard member, missing every time. He goes for a bite, and just something does not go very well for him. Oops. Oh, that's really not good. Yeah, that's a hell of a trade. We'll just say that much.
You barely hit me, I nuke your health. That is equivalent exchange. Was that fair? I'm bullying you, that's why.
Yeah, he gets hit pretty hard, but not dangerously so, if that makes sense. You know, he gets rocked, but he doesn't get destroyed. You see somebody run up behind you, who you're starting to notice is Ricky, but unfortunately for him, that's all he can do. But it is now your turn.
Okay. I am going to use my action. I'm just gonna quickly look behind. Like, how exactly is the woman held up? Is she just like hogtied by her ankles?
She's like chained up there. It would take your whole turn basically to attack the tree enough to let her go.
Even if I try and cut the chain to bring her down?
It's a chain.
He'll look down at Ricky. Ricky, I'm gonna try and cut the girl down. I want you to catch her and get her to safety.
Okay.
Get ready. And I'm gonna take a targeted swing at the chain. I'm pretty sure that's disadvantage, right?
Yeah.
Alright.
Let me add the chain to the initiative.
See, this is the one time where Obsidian actually rolls mid for me, but my modifier takes it away. I got an 11 and a 12 on both rolls, but with my modifier, it'll bring it up to dirty 20 to hit.
That'll hit it.
I'm pretty sure 11 points of slashing damage should be enough to cut the chain.
It is not. This
What
is
the?
a very well-made chain. This is gonna take some time.
Second swing. And alright. Again, another dirty 20 to hit for 10 slashing damage this time. He tries to come in through the other way.
It's still holding on, but it's just not looking quite as strong.
What the?
Elijah, you can finally see.
Great. So, I'm guessing I'll take what I can. Now that I can see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Didn't think I did. Okay. We're gonna go for a two-handed longsword attack on blue.
Well, you would have to do one-handed because you have to hold on to that torch to see him.
That's right. My bad. One-handed then. 12, 19.
That'll hit him.
D8. 9 damage.
Good chunk of damage.
Swing at him again. 8. 15 to hit.
That just hits.
Yay! 8 points of damage.
Nice.
That's my turn.
Alright. We're up to Red's turn, who is pretty pissed that you're trying to free his dinner, Omen, so he's going to make a series of attacks at you.
Well, fuck you, buddy. No dinner for you. I don't care if you want it.
That is 26
Ow.
to hit.
I know. Why are you guys always hitting me?
That's 11 points
I
of
am-
damage. You ran in at them,
That is true.
and you're trying to take away their dinner. They were enjoying torturing their meal, and you've ruined it.
Well, too bad you don't get to play with your food anymore. This is what happens when you play with your food too long. Your food runs away.
He misses the second hit, but he is going for that nasty, nasty bite for a... I gotta pull up that sheet. I don't quite remember what he gets on the bite attack. How in the hell... I shouldn't be giving this away, but... Oh, okay, I misread it. Never mind. I'm good. It looked like it had a 5-foot reach on the bite. I'm like, what?
Nope.
But,
I was about to say, how is it going to extend his neck?
that'll be a soft 20 to hit.
It'll be the Squidward bite.
I'm using my gauntlet reaction I'm using the shield reaction I got from training with Jezza to bump my AC up to 22.
That is perfectly fine, as it is now somebody else's turn who you guys haven't been able to see yet, but you're starting to suspect since he's not standing there must be Creepy Johnny. He's going to make his attack. He'll actually hit on that one, that's good. You see a bolt go flying and hit Red in the face. Let's see what he does this time. Oh yeah, that definitely hits. That's much better. Alright. Red gets another bolt in the face.
Instead of boot to the head, it's bolt to the head.
Your Raven Guard friend is going to take a couple of swings here at Blue. Actually, no, he's going to try to finish off Red. That would make more sense.
Tactically, yes. Raven Guard, soldier, think tactical.
Oh boy. He's on fire tonight.
He's savoring the feeling of blood on his teeth, boys.
He brings that pickaxe hard on Red here. Wait, I gotta get his...
Kick his ass.
Kick his ass!
Ooh, Red looks horrendous. Very
Beautiful.
last moments kind of vibe here for him. Yeah, this might be the end of him here. Oh yeah. You see him raise that pickaxe back up one more time, and he drops it down hard right on the center of the top of his head, and you just hear the sickening noise of him being just crushed under the weight of that pickaxe. As it's now...
With all the finality of a judge's gavel.
Yeah, it was rough. But Green's going to continue levying the attack on you here because you're, again, messing with their dinner and ran at him. Oh, let me see something here. Hey, go ahead and make me an opportunity attack, will you? As he misses wildly.
Oh, hey! And look at that! Just as he sucked, I rocked. I got a nat 20.
Give it a go.
2d8. 19 points of slashing damage. Presumably he like lunges and goes wide, and Omen just pirouettes his spade around to go and to catch him deep in his hip on an upward swing.
He takes another wild swing and misses horrendously as he's going to go for that bite now. And he misses again. It's not Green's night, let me see whose turn it is. Sorry, I gotta turn on my light. I can't see anything of what I'm doing anymore. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. It's Blue's turn.
Just spinning my spade around like a helicopter, just deflecting it left and right.
Ooh, Blue finds purchase against your friend here. Finds it again as he takes another stab at him. Okay. And he's going to go for the bite, which also hits. Hopefully he can pass his con save. He's going to be taking quite a bit of damage on this one. Ooh, passes with flying colors, however, as we are looking at... You finally get to see Ricky do something. Ricky, to your horror, Omen, as you can't help but look back at him, you hear him pull out a pan and start, mixing inside of that pan. And you can't imagine what on earth he would be doing trying to cook something. And what makes it worse is once you're like, okay, this has got to be the dumbest thing that could possibly happen right now. Homeboy's cooking while we're in a fight. You feel a paste get dumped over the top of your head. That's not very good. As you get healed for 5 points of damage.
I'm 2 points away from the funny number.
Okay, we're on the chain's turn. The chain has chosen to hold on to its target, and it is very successful because the target is tightly bound, so it'll be the target of the chain's turn who is still screaming for help because things are getting bad and they're probably losing consciousness, being upside down, which brings us back to Omen.
Alright, I am going to cut this mother effing chain down if it's the last thing I mother effing do! I take it a 21 will hit.
It'll hit.
For 12 slashing.
It's starting to look a little weaker.
Second swing. 22 for 11 slashing.
It's hanging on by a thread, but it's still got her.
Seeing that, Omen's gonna quickly call it to Ricky. Get ready, that chain's gonna come down in a second.
Okay, I'm not equipped for this.
I'm just trying
Just
to make
be
you a
re-
quick rash of bacon and eggs.
Just be ready to break or fall.
Okay. Elijah.
I'm going to move here.
Great choice.
Another one-handed swing with the long sword. Flanking this time. It's 14, 21 points, or 21 to hit.
That'll hit.
That's going to be 9 points of damage.
Good damage.
Swing number 2. 13, 20 to hit.
Oh, that'll hit him.
Damn, 6 points.
Blue's still going pretty strong.
Not for lack of trying.
Oh, I did the wrong. Hold on. Sorry, I
Oh.
did the wrong health for him.
Damn.
Don't worry, I can.
I keep forgetting.
Yeah, I know, and I've been waiting for you to figure it out, but you haven't.
I keep forgetting to activate Planar Warrior like a dumbass.
And some other things.
And Hunter's
Yeah.
Mark.
Yep.
I'm not holding your hand, Trucker.
Nobody is. I'm letting him do 5 points of damage. Alright. He's keeping out of sight. Good enough. Actually, that does hit. Not bad. That'll hit him for 9 damage. Then the next one will miss. You see one bolt hit green, and then you see another one go flying past you, Omen.
What the hell? Where are those shots coming from?
Trucker,
Yes.
you're watching your Raven Guard friend lift up his very bloody pickaxe to go to town here. He definitely hits on that one. Oh! Max damage.
Splat.
Not quite. He's... Oh, wait. Blue is looking really bad right now, Trucker. Blue looks like he's having the worst time of his life as he's going for a second swing. Yeah, that'll hit.
Party's over for Blue.
I'm not about taking the glory for myself.
Okay, Blue's still hanging on, but he looks really, really bad. Despite being shot at least once, Omen, Green in front of you is getting increasingly agitated that you are still trying to free its dinner, so he's going to take another swing at you. He's going to miss that one. For a 22 to hit you.
Even if I use my reaction, I wouldn't. He'd still hit me.
For 14 damage. He's going to take a bite at you. That'll be 21 to hit.
I'm using my reaction. I ain't running a risk with the poison.
Okay.
Let's just use another key point.
That's green. Blue's going to try to go out with some dignity, and he's going to attack you, Elijah.
Okay.
That's not going to work. That'll be another 21 to hit.
That'll hit.
All right. He might just do something yet. Ooh, beans, max damage for 20 points of damage. And then he's going to try to bite you here. And miss viciously. We're
How viciously?
not quite so bad as you're hoping. Omen, you're hearing the same noises behind you again from Ricky as you feel another thick paste hit the back of your head. Please stop running into danger, he says as you get 12 points of health back this time.
12?
Yes.
Nice.
The chain is going to use its action to continue to hold on. The person in the chain is going to continue to use their action to scream a little quieter as they are starting to very obviously lose consciousness here, and Chaos. It is now your turn.
Okay, down comes the chain. $23 for 10 slashing.
It finally comes down, but to your horror, you realize that Ricky was so busy coating you in healing sap that they just go crashing to the ground.
Can I at least try and save her?
If you want to use your actually no, you just if you want to use your
I can use my
attack.
movement at least. Yeah. I want to try like acrobatics my way to grab onto them.
Yeah, roll it.
To like dive catch. 27.
Yeah, you catch him.
It's okay, I got you.
Elijah.
He'll just put his fingers to her neck to check for a pulse real quick.
They're alive, but they don't they don't seem like they're in much danger of dying, but they're definitely unconscious.
Alright.
Elijah.
Yeah.
Blue's still in front of you.
Bonus action, target planar warrior.
Cool.
One more one-handed swing. That is a nat 20.
I presume
Awesome.
that will hit.
We're doubling, right?
Of course.
Double everything.
So that's double sword and double planar.
Yep.
It's gonna be a lot of D8s. I don't have that many. I mean, I do, but I don't.
Get
All
that
right.
get that rolled. I gotta run to the bathroom super
plus
quick. I'll be back in just a second.
3 plus 5 plus 8 plus 3. It's about time I do damage.
It's about time you remember your damage.
If only I could remember I have 2 different damage mods I could apply.
I know.
Stop getting mad at me.
I'm only being passive aggressive with you, man. I'm not being actively aggressive with you. There's a difference.
Speaking of which, I can't remember if I ever showed you this while we're waiting for him to get back. And she brought up passive aggressiveness.
Alright, thank you for your patience. What kind of damage did you do?
23 points of damage.
How do you kill green?
I mean, blue?
Dick is that.
Yes, blue.
I'm just, going in for a side swipe right at the neck.
Take
Good
his head and hold it up by
old,
his cap.
good old decapitation.
Yeah, there's a nice, satisfying blood fountain as you watch him go down. What do next?
What do next is I'm going to shift position to here. And I got one more swing in me.
Can you bonus action shift planar warrior?
I
Planar Warrior only goes off once.
I'd have to activate it again on a separate target.
Gotcha. Never mind.
And that would take a bonus action to do, which I don't have another bonus action. So that's going to be 17 to hit.
That'll hit him.
8. Nice. 11 points of extra damage to green.
Alright, he's still going pretty strong. Nobody's been really hitting him.
That's about to change.
Alright. It is this individual's turn now. That'll definitely hit. Where is that dice I need? Oh, sweet. Max damage. That is going to be that number. Another bolt comes firing in and hits green pretty hard in the shoulder.
Does he spin? Does he get hit so hard he spins?
Not quite. Yeah, that's not so great. So this number. A second bolt hits, but doesn't seem to hit him that hard. But he's not looking very well, as we are up to our Raven Guard friend, who's going to just close in the gap on green, who's probably having the worst day of his life. You'll hit on that one. I don't know how I keep putting dice that I need in pairs in different locations, but it's pretty incredible. Alright, he does some pretty good damage there, and then he misses on the second one. We are up to Green himself, who is going to stay on target because you have, again, accosted his meal, and he's pretty mad. That'll be 21 to hit.
Reflex. Shield.
Alright. Well, he'll miss on that second one then. And then he'll go for a bite. He'll miss on the bite, that's fine. We are up to Ricky, who's going to 10 around, and he is going to, you see him pull out a pan and start going to work at it, and then you see him toss the pan at Green, who needs to make this with disadvantage because of what he is. He will still succeed, however, and he is going to take very minimal damage, but you start seeing you see a liquid hit Green, and it's starting to eat away at him. The chain has died. So we're up to Omen, who has a stranger in his arms.
Omen's going to pull out one of his carrier 10 20 since it's double movement when I'm carrying somebody. 30.
Okay, he misses.
Now he's gonna use my action to pull out one of my 44 plus 4s and try and gently. Actually, no. Scratch that. Instead, he's going to gently He's going to gently apply 2 fingers to her forehead and provide a gentle stream of his ki into her to try and rouse her to consciousness. Gently, of course, not sudden sharp wake up.
Nothing really happens because you're an elemental monk, not a Way of Mercy monk, but you do feel like you've done something.
Yeah, obviously, it's just out of his expertise. It's more or less just trying. It's just the idea of the matter. The idea of the matter.
Is that your turn?
After quickly making use of his bag of holding to support her head, he'll lay her down, pull out his spade, and just take up a defensive position over her.
All right, Elijah, it's your
Come
turn.
on, you could have reformed the murder calzone.
Use this movement.
Fair enough. Bonus action, planar warrior on green.
All right.
One-handed sword again. 17 to hit.
That'll hit him.
That's gonna be 8 points of damage. Swing number 2. Oh wait, I forgot the planar warrior on the first one.
Roll it.
8, 14 points total on the first swing. Second swing is a 19 plus 26 to hit.
That'll definitely hit him.
It's going to be 5 more points of damage.
How do you kill this guy?
Instead of a good slash, I will have gone in for basically like a power stab and just right through the chest. Just
All right. That will end our combat music, as combat is over.
Huzzah. I was only marginally useful. Yay.
You forgot 90% of your stuff.
I know. That is the funniest bit of it all.
I just have so much to work with. I just forget about the regular stuff.
That's why, my man, you should stick with Battlemaster fighters. That seems to be the limit to how difficult you can handle.
That is combat here.
Thanks for that amazing vote of confidence.
Yeah, what the hell?
Not saying you can't do it, but come
I'll
on,
have
man.
you know, I'm an amazing battlesmith artificer, but I didn't want to play one of those for this game.
All right. I will let you guys do one thing each before I end this.
Put those red caps on the fire and get that fire back up.
Do you want to see what they have first?
Yeah, let's loot them first.
Roll your survivals.
Burn them.
Loot them and burn them.
Huh?
I got a 15.
You find a pair of glasses and a bunch of, like, actual junk. Like, bits of metal shavings, broken hilts, just tons of useless metal. But you do find a nice pair of glasses.
I'll take the glasses. Put them in my bag.
I got a 22.
You find 10 copper coins, but you're also kind of just finding, random junk besides their uh, pitchforks. But very easily, upon your request, they are tossed in. The fire gets going once more, and you start to hear the individual, the nice lady that was hanging upside down, starting to stir.
Omen will get down to help her set up. Easy.
She looks human in nature, but her face is very angular. And the first thing that she says to you is, "Where are my glasses?" And that'll be where we end this one.
Hey.
Congratulations, jackasses. Welcome to Duskfall. The fifth and
We
Hey.
final chapter.
We save Velma.
Yeah, all we have to do is just see if she's got just as much ink as the real Velma. Like, is that actually canon that Velma is just tatted up
No.
as hell?
No.
No. That was a trend started by an artist who said, draw my character in your style. And the character he drew was a very inked up Velma.
Okay, I'm just gonna say it. Velma being that inked up under all that bulky nerd clothing was very believable.
It's always the quiet ones, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
honestly, compared to one encounter I had with red caps where my DM had all of them equipped with bear trap teeth, where if they bit down on you, you had to not do a con save to prevent being poisoned, but a strength save to keep yourself from those bastards being latched onto you.
Well, I have some bad news. It wasn't going to be poison. You were going to get necrosis.
So not tetanus, but necrosis. That's even worse.
Yeah, it would have been a very bad, no good, super awful time.
Very bad, no good, awful time.
Perhaps
Wait,
the
when do
worst
I get
and
that one? When do I get that one monk feat? Do I get a monk feat that prevents me from being poisoned or diseased?
no,
I
that's a
forgot.
paladin.
Purity of body. Ah, at 10th level, your mastery of the key flowing through you makes you immune to disease and poison.
This is
Purity of body.
this is more of a you stuck your hand in something so gross you're going to get hurt kind of a thing. This is more like necrosis. This is a little bit slightly different. Just
You're
because
just
you're
saying that just to poo-poo my purity of body.
no, dude, they
No, this is like you
Okay.
stuck your hand in a vat of acid.
yeah, these guys
Okay.
are pure.
Understandable.
It would be like if you were a cannibal and you're pretty used to some messed up stuff, but you still ate somebody with leprosy. There's no about of I'm used to some messed up stuff that's gonna stop you from getting that.
Okay, makes sense. I getcha.
Or I guess a
Oh,
less grotesque version. It's kind of like how all vultures are bald because of the acid.
yeah. Also, just as a side note, when are we gonna counter the Quatoans?
The what?
The fish people that can make anything a god if because they believe hard enough.
I haven't got any.
Ah, okay.
You know how the Pantheon works here. There isn't
I
one.
know. I know. I was just shit. I was just shitting around.
You're gonna have fun with the if and when you encounter them. The dragon cults will be fun enough.
Oh boy, I'm getting some ancient dragon cult vibes from these fools, and I mean Skyrim ancient dragon cults with how sadistic they were.
But we need a topic and we need to end this thing. We gotta put her to bed.
A topic. What is? How about this? What's next on the menu after the last season? What's the next campaign gonna be? How's that for a topic?
Oh, you want to hear about what I'm planning next?
Yeah, give me a taste.
Well, let's just say the reason I've had you guys going everywhere on the map for the very first one, and then I'm going to be keeping you localized to whichever place you have decided to vote on, because I will be holding that vote one more time in the near future. Uh, you guys get to basically, with no knowledge of your previous characters, because, well, reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Well, depending on who you are, you might hear of some of them, but, again, because reasons,
Mm-hmm.
you get to basically sit in the bed that you've made. That's what the next campaign's going to be about. I put you guys in big decision making roles in multiple areas to see what the future of that landscape is going to look like. And I'm going to basically just have you guys deal with it. Every
Nice.
every good and bad thing or unfinished thing you have is going to come back up. There are going to be some places a little more interesting than others, but that'll be what you're looking at. You guys basically get to, with different characters, deal with the consequences of your actions.
I love it.
But
That'll be fun.
let's get some title suggestions in there, and let's roll credits.
Delving deep.
Trucker.
Down, down in the dark.
I'd like to combine the both of yours and go with Dark Delver.
I like
Delving
it.
in the dark.
Get sued and call it Dark Trek with a K.
No. No.
I am not in
Ha,
love with that. I'm just having fun.
tap, tapped in the deep.
How about I know it's a very long title, which we traditionally try to stay away from on both my channel and this one, but I'm very big fan of Mayor's Players Never Ask an NPC's Name.
Hmm. Uh.
In our defense, we didn't get around to asking the lady her name.
No, but you
Yeah.
spent many hours with the Raven Guard guy, and you have no idea what the hell his name is.
It
In our
didn't help that
defense,
it didn't help that he came off as a bit of a narcissistic ass.
also in our defense, we kind of weren't fans of the Raven Guard when we lived in Woldar. That really hasn't changed.
Yeah, but you guys,
Mm-hmm.
not to use a grotesque phrase here, but you guys were kind of groomed into that. You were living with Creepy Johnny, who is not a fan of authority. The Raven Guard, a symbol, the only living symbol of hope in that city, you were taught not to interact with because Creepy Johnny didn't want any attention on his business.
Pretty much.
Also, he didn't offer his name and he didn't ask ours either.
Exactly. Way we see it, unless one side steps up, we're not gonna step up.
Yeah, but that was going to be the first thing I was going to have them do, but I just wanted to see if you guys were going to do it because I've had every other NPC either have you guys introduce them yourselves to them or you guys have just done it automatically.
I have a way I can ask next time and it won't come off as meta.
Oh, okay.
You just you just gotta let me cook.
I like to watch you navigate social situations in your patented dysfunctional manner.
I'm not
uh,
dysfunctional. I'm just non-confrontational, which means I don't like making decisions.
it doesn't help when people ask you a question and you're trying to decide whether or not you should answer.
Which is ultra funny for me because now everybody's like, "You're the king now. You have power."
Oh, that's hilarious.
And to think if you didn't make all those comments to me a couple months ago when I prompting me to have to ask some questions, it would have been Roman, who is now a stain on the road.
uh,
But
Still feel bad about Roman.
yeah, that's the way she goes.
That's what happens when you try and play a game with psychopaths. You always lose.
Well, I mean, you all made the right point. You guys didn't know you were playing. You were just doing your jobs, and they took that as a game.
Yep. Anyway, so we're gonna close this
Yeah,
out, and we're gonna keep pissing on.
yeah, let's hit them with the old adios, like, comment, share, subscribe, because the good Lord knows we ain't getting any views. We're going down steady. I'm waiting to start seeing some. We don't hit double digits until close to when we're about to record the next episode recently. That's not a joke. Like, we barely hit 15 on the last episode, and typically we're at 15 by Wednesday. So it's bad.
Yeah.
It's abysmally bad.
So we need some help, y'all. We need any people who are big fans, anyone who just wants a cheap laugh, anyone who just wants to have something to listen to that's clearly not the best. Let's admit that, but we're doing the best we can with what we got.
Hey, I say this is pretty close to the best considering I made all of this in a day and a half.
I know.
Hell, I made this chapter because I'll just give you a little peel back behind the curtain before I roll the credits here. Uh, you guys were always going to end up fighting King Winter, but I couldn't figure out how to get him into the city without it being pointless and dragged out.
A big problem.
Yeah, it just wasn't fitting because he was always going to find you guys and it was always going to end up one way or another. And then I started trying to think my way out of it, and then I had to write all of this, which took me 3 days to get this done, but this will be the final chapter. It'll be nice to end it. I hope it ends on a nice strong note. But with that, you heard what we're asking for. We're rolling the credits. You have a good night.